I loved the lifestyle there. I was close to the beach and I loved everything about it, but I was getting priced out of the suburbs. So my landlord, when the what do you call it? The tax on land tax came in. When the land tax came in, obviously it affected my landlord because it was their second home or the investment property. They upped my rent by $60 a week, and it was already high. And I was like, I bit back. I was like, hey, come on, that's too big. Yeah. And then they put it down by $30, so it went up by $30. And then all of a sudden I get this notice of sale, like they're going to sell. So we went through this whole process, and I'm still really dirty about this because my partner and I only just met. And then all of a sudden it's like I have to leave my house, and I'm like, so it's good. We moved in together, and it was all great. But it was all like,
and they lived happily ever after.
And we were in a great big house and whatever. But at the same time, I was like, it's all happening at the same time. It was so much pressure. And, so I went and started looking at other houses, and I was completely priced out of the market. Like, for a 2-bedroom unit in Hampton, I was looking around the $800 mark. And, whether or not I can afford it is irrelevant. It just gets to a point where it's
Can you justify that?
That's insane. That's insane money. We're talking like almost 40 grand a year. So...
Actually, more than. Yeah.
And so anyway, long story short, my landlord bought that unit in the height of the pandemic, so 2021, bought it for a really high price and then couldn't sell it at that. So it got passed in, and then they couldn't sell it. So in the end, they booted me out so that they could up the rent by $130.
Okay, so let's talk about perverse incentives, because this is something that Queensland has tried to do and others have tried to do. Rent controls. Price controls always backfire every single time. There are no exceptions. You cannot defy the laws of economics any more than you can defy the laws of physics. So when the government comes in and says, we'll just pass a law that puts a cap on how much you can increase rent, but you can advertise it for whatever rent you want for a new renter, and there's no control, there's no condition on that, instantly you've created an incentive for landlords to do exactly that. I can't raise my rent on you as much as what the market says my place is worth, so I'm going to get rid of you so I can put somebody else in. And now, not only are you paying higher rent somewhere else, but you also have all the costs associated with being forced to move.
Yeah, it was real, and to move house, it was $11,000. By the time that was just my share. My partner had his share. So by the time I had paid, rent and bond at the new place, and paid for moving costs, cleaning costs, all the things, it's such an extraordinary cost if you haven't budgeted that was going to happen. And then
there's the opportunity cost of the time, the week or so that you lose, packing up the old house, setting up the new house, etc. So it's an incredibly expensive, disruptive
It was.